What's up, everyone? Footy season's right around the corner. And here's how I think the ladder's going to shake out this season. Start from the bottom, work my way up. Coming in at 18, which is probably going to be no shock to anybody, Richmond, winning the Wooden Spoon for the second season in a row. If they don't win the Wooden Spoon, I think most people will be shocked. I think Richmond fans will be shocked. Coming in at 17, West Coast. I just don't really have hopes for them this year. Coming in at 16, Essendon. Taking a step back from last season. It's hard to read this Essendon team. Are they going to be competitive, or are they kind of in a rebuild? I'm going to lean towards a rebuild, coming in at 16. Coming in at 15, though, taking a step up from last season and previous seasons, North Melbourne. I mean, if they don't take a step up, I think it's a little worrisome. I think it's about time that they take a step up, and I expect them to. Coming in at 14, Melbourne. Maybe I'm dumb, maybe I'm naive. It just feels like they really did not do that much to improve themselves this year. I don't think they necessarily got worse, but they didn't improve themselves. Now, Christian Petrarca should be back and healthy and hopefully for a full season. I don't know. I see them finishing right where they did last year. Coming in at 13, and this might be a shock and this might be a stretch. I got Port Adelaide. Part of me feels like with Ken Hinckley stepping down at the end of the season, I just feel like Port is in for a very weird year. Again, maybe I'm misreading that whole situation, and maybe it's going to be fine. Maybe they do crack the top 8. To me, it feels like it's going to be a weird situation. Coming in at 12, Western. The Bulldogs last year, it was very win one week, lose the next. Win again, then lose the next. Win again, then lose the next. And it was that way for most of the season. And then you got Marcus Bonampelli, who is out for, I think, 6 weeks, I saw. I just feel like they're going to get off to a little bit of a rough start to the season, and they're just not going to be able to fully recover, and they miss out on that top 8. Coming in at 11, taking a slight step up, Gold Coast. I think they're headed in the right direction. I just don't think it's quite enough to crack that top 8. And then coming in at 10, Carlton. I don't know. I just feel like they're not going to be consistent enough to be able to crack that top 8, and they come in at number 10. And then coming in at number 9, just missing out on that top 8, GWS. Similar to Melbourne, I don't know. I feel like they didn't really improve themselves this offseason. If anything, they got worse. So I have them missing out on the top 8. Now, to get into the good stuff. The top 8. How do I see that shaking out? Coming in at number 8, give me St. Kilda. They've cracked the top 8, twice in the last 14 seasons? Make it 3 in the last 15. I think St. Kilda is in for a good season. Do I think they're going to win anything? No. But do I think they make postseason? Yes, I do. I think they come in at number 8. Coming in at number 7, Adelaide. I think they finally put it all together, and they're consistent enough to at least crack the top 8 and play some postseason footy. Now, do I see them going much further than that? No, not at all. Do I think they're going to win anything in the postseason? No. But I do think they crack that top 8, coming in at 7. Collingwood, I have them coming in at 6. Even though they may be the oldest team or one of the oldest teams this year, they got off to a very slow start last year. I don't see that happening this year. They will have a good enough season to be in that top 8. And then coming in at number 5, Sydney Swans. Do I think their regular season is going to be as dominant as it was last year? No, I don't. Still going to be a very good season. I even have a future on them to win the grand final. I just don't think they're going to be the best team during the regular season. And then cracking the top 4. This might be a little bit of an overreaction from last season. I still think this team's good enough to at least crack the top 8, but I have them coming in at number 4, Hawthorn. I have Hawthorn coming in at 4. And then coming in at 3, if you watched my last video, you know I am very high on this team. Fremantle coming in at number 3. I have a future on them to make the grand final. So, I mean, I have to be high on them if I'm putting a future on them. Give me Frio at 3. And then coming in at number 2, the defending champs, Brisbane. Again, they may be one of the older teams this season, but they've got enough young talent. I don't think they're going to get off to the rough start that they got on last year. Give me Brisbane to put together a good full season and come in at number 2. And then finally, number 1 team this season. Do I think they're going to win the grand final? Obviously not if I have a future on Sydney. Do I think they're going to make the grand final? No, obviously if I have it on Sydney and Freo. But give me Geelong to finish as the best team during the regular season. Thank y'all for joining me. I'll be back later this week to give my favorite picks for the opening round.